Dandelion wine. Delicious. Now, whether or not those two words go together is not up to me, and whether or not that makes you think of a luxury 21 plus drink or something made in a toilet in prison, it's actually the name of a book. This book. And it was written by some old famous dead guy. That guy was Ray Bradbury. He crafted up this baby in 1957 as somewhat of a semi-autobiographical novel depicting childhood and the beauty of life in Greentown, Illinois, during the summer of 1928. The book follows multiple themes like rich nostalgia, growth, memory, and
the significance of the passage of time.
So I split the book up into 3 different pieces: the town, the author, and the characters. Greentown has a cozy downtown filled with shops and homes where passers-by gather, creating a tight-knit community of hustle and bustle. The area is split by the ravine, a deep, wooded central feature bringing mystery and adventure that kids explore, seen as sort of the symbol between childhood innocence and the realities of life. Spanning the ravine is the bridge, which connects different parts of town and represents the transition between the bygone past and the transit. Oh, I sound like a book nerd. Thank you, Internet Thesaurus. Alright, there's also a park full of play, picnics, and people enjoying nature, where one of our main characters, Douglas, develops a lot of summer memories. Then, of course, there's the neighborhoods. Tree-lined streets, charming houses, alive and comforting, safe and trusting. Was that not descriptive enough for you? Here's how Bradbury puts it. The way the thistles ticked in the hot grass when the wind blew like a furnace, or the way the electric power lines sizzled on the rain-wet poles. You know, it's honestly really intriguing how he makes the town seem less like a setting of the book, but rather a character in the book. Like, it's not just the place that things happen at, but the catalyst that all the stories blend together in. That's probably because the book is based on his hometown of Waukegan, Illinois. Seriously. I mean, here's the ravine, and with a map made by Ray himself, it lines up perfectly. Douglas's grandparents' house is right next to his childhood home. Farther down, you can even see the school. And I guess the town commemorated him, which is cool, I guess. Ray Bradbury was born in 1928 in Illinois and grew up during the Great Depression, heavily influencing his writing. He loved comics and cinema, and he went on to write more than 500 short stories. His famous works include Fahrenheit 451 and The Martian Chronicles. He had an aversion to technology, and instead of owning a computer, he wrote manuscripts in the basement of the UCLA library because he didn't want to become a machine. I don't really know if this helped his case, though. Well, in short, Ray was and will be one of the most beloved authors in history. Colonel, without spoiling anything, how do you feel your death affected the readers of this book?
I can't exactly recall, but I do remember. Did I ever tell you the story about how I chased a buffalo and ran faster than it on foot? See, back in them days, trains were made of solid gold, and it was quite the rush.
Mr. Offman, you spent hours perfecting your happiness machine. Tell me about it. Ah, the happiness machine. I envisioned a wonder that would bring happiness at the press of a button. But joy cannot be manufactured, and I learned that it's the little things that fill us up. The laughter of a child, the smell of a flower. Those things machines cannot replicate. So it sounds like it ultimately failed and you disassembled it. I don't want to talk about it. Lavinia, we were all on the edge of our seats as we watched you depart from your friends and plunge into the darkness, and we could feel the build-up when the lonely one was still on the loose and you got home and the glass was empty. Lavinia?
I had absolutely nothing to fear, until I did. I'm just upset about my lemonade. I mean, a decent woman ought to have a right to a glass every now and again.
Okay, but when you turned around and grabbed those scissors, what about that?
Of course, when I turned, I felt a wave of emotions.
Okay.
Of anger, that no-good shadowy specter lurking like a thief in the night. He drank all my finely crafted lemonade. Do you know how long it took me to make it? Not long, but still.
In this video, you've learned a lot about this weirdly named book, like Greentown, Ray Bradbury, and 3 characters. If you'd like to learn more stuff, consider subscribing. Now on to the bloopers.
Why the mustard?
It's not yellow enough. Oh!
Just don't look at me.
Oh!
What did you do?
I got it on my hand.